Hello, welcome to Board Game Madness. We are into our second round here, so we're putting winners in previous rounds head to head here. Just as a reminder, in this round, I'm not going to be going over each game as a game overview like I did in the first round. So if you're interested in seeing that, just make sure you check the first round when these games beat the game they were going head to head in to make it to this round to begin with. So in this round, we have the number 4 seed, Pandemic Legacy Season 0 specifically, versus the number 20 seed, which is Furnace. So we've got two really different games here. As far as production goes, we have a massive legacy game with tons of components and boxes to open. And then we have Furnace, which has some wooden components, some cards, and is a bidding engine builder type game. And the first thing we talk about is production. And for the second round, I've been trying to sort of call out my favorite component from each game and sort of put them head to head so we can see sort of the all-star component versus the all-star component. And if we're looking at that from Pandemic Legacy Season 0, my absolute favorite component is the player passport that you create. It's literally a passport with different pages in it. You put stickers into it. You make your character by picking stickers and putting disguises on them, which is perfect for the theme of this sort of spy thriller of the 1960s. I was checking if it was the 60s or 70s. I didn't remember off the top of my head. It is the 60s. That component is my absolute favorite component from this game and is an exceptional component. And everything in here is very nice. You get the legacy feel opening up, nice plastic pieces. Furnace doesn't have a huge standout component. My favorite single component are probably the cards with the card art that you put in your engine. I really like the way the card art in this game looks. But even that comes with a caveat, which is they do repeat some of the card art, but the cards have different effects, which I don't like. I think there should be a unique illustration for each card effect, or unique card, I should say. So that is annoying to me. So I think when it comes to production too, Pandemic's Legacy also has that legacy advantage and the higher price point advantage. But I think the production is better, and we have to give it to Pandemic Legacy in this case. I don't really think it's close, honestly. Let's talk about game mechanics next. Now here we have two very different games. We have a competitive game that's very Euro-focused, engine building, versus a cooperative game. It's a derivative of one of the best cooperative games of all time, in my opinion, the original Pandemic. And there's some new twists to it in this game, which I really like. But we've got sort of two different categories. My subjective opinion, which one do I have the most fun playing? And in this case, both of these games are incredibly fun. I love both of these games. Furnace has so little downtime and is constantly fun. You're constantly, worrying about the puzzle. It's so much fun. And Pandemic Legacy Season 0 is a great new spin on the classic Pandemic formula, making it's much better than Season 2 of the Legacy version. And I love the theme for this one. And it does a really cool job of inserting that theme of keeping things suppressed while introducing the spy mechanic. So, for me personally, it's probably a tie. So, off the top of my head, one doesn't stand tall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to be critical of each game's game mechanics and see if I come up with anything that I don't like about them. And I don't think there's much in either case that I would change personally. Furnace, the core set. The only thing negative I can say about the core set of Furnace is I wanted more capitalists. I wanted more starting companies or whatever they are and more variation. And I've since bought the expansion, which gives me that and more. I'm trying not to factor that expansion in, but I did play it pretty recently, so it is top of mind, and it didn't make things too complicated, which is always what I'm scared of with expansions sometimes. And Pandemic Legacy Season 0, my least favorite thing is, I don't know, the setup maybe? Like, I always have to use the rule book to follow the setup exactly because it's always sort of changing when you're opening new boxes and things and you're adding stickers and rules. So I'm always like I'm always like pretty sure, like I'm 90% there, but I do have to check the rule book occasionally. But that's just the nature of a legacy game. So for me, gameplay wise, I really can't choose. This is my favorite cooperative game. Not counting anything Rock Manor makes probably, but we're not considering Rock Manor games in any of this, so it's not relevant. And then Furnace is definitely my favorite bidding like game with any sort of bidding economy or mechanism in it. And it's one of my favorite engine building games. So mechanically speaking, I really love both of these games. I mean, this is longer, I guess. I don't know. Both of these games mechanically are fantastic. I love them. So let's go to our next thing, and hopefully we get a winner and we're not going to some crazy tiebreaker and the rest aren't ties. So let's go to theme. I like both of these themes a lot. I love this Industrial Revolution look. I love the artwork in Furnace. And Pandemic, the 1960s spy theme, is the best theme of any of the Pandemic seasons, in my opinion. It's definitely my favorite of those themes that have come out for the legacy version of the game so far. So, which theme do I like more? This is a little more Euro-y flat, like the theme isn't as prevalent when I'm playing the game. Whereas this game has a narrative aspect to it and is actively reinforcing the theme at all time. And just going back to the components we talked about, the passport, like my player board, if you will, of this passport is intrinsically exudes theme and is amazing. Whereas, this is cards and pieces and stuff you expect from a board game, but it's not doing anything to transcend theme. So it's a very strong theme, and I love this game so much. I'm so happy it's made it to the second round, and I would never consider selling it. But I do think Pandemic, if I had to choose one, would go theme as well. So with that, we'll talk about replayability. Not that it's going to matter too much. Pandemic Legacy Season 0 is a legacy game. That means when you're finished it, your game will be permanently altered and you can't go back and replay it without buying a new box. So that means you've got about 12 to 24 plays of this game max. It's literally the amount. Each game is a month, and there's 12 months in the game's sort of design. So you will have 12 to 24 plays out of this box. But the great thing about this is every game will be exciting and different, and you'll be constantly opening up new stuff as you go. So you will actually play the allotted time and finish this. I think if you like the game, there's no reason why you wouldn't finish it. And then you're done with it. You can put it back on your shelf, get rid of it, do whatever. No more pressure to keep playing. Furnace is very replayable. The base game, you can definitely play it 12 times. You can play it 24 times. You can play it 36 times. There's nothing stopping you. I do think the incentive to play it 12 and 24 times, if you're comparing that replayability-wise, without the expansion, I'm not sure I would play it 24 times. I'd play it over 10, but then I'd start probably losing interest. You've definitely played everything in the box at that point and all the combinations, and you're just playing because you really love the mechanisms, which is always true of a game with replayability. As long as you can reset it, you can keep playing it forever as long as you enjoy it. But there's nothing driving you to play it that many times. So I think with the expansion, I think Furnace would probably win replayability because by definition, it can be played more. And technically speaking, even the base game can be played more than Pandemic Season 0. But every time this game touches the table, I play more than one game of it. Because every time you finish a game, you instantly want to play another one. Because you want to open the new stuff, you want to progress the story. Everything about it is driving you forward to complete this game and get everything you can out of this box. Furnace doesn't have that. So maybe it's my preference towards legacy games. I've only played a few. I played the Pandemics, and I played, I think, Ion's End. I never played Seafall. So I'm not a huge Legacy. It's not like I've been playing all the Legacy games ad nauseum, but almost every Legacy game I started playing, I finished. The only exception is Pandemic Legacy Season 2, which I was pretty deep into, and then we just sort of fell off of that route. The core mechanisms in the game weren't as good. So, for me, it was already going to win. It was already winning, but Pandemic Legacy Season 0 is definitely the game I would put through to the next round in this tournament. It's a real treasure. If you like Pandemic, if you like the game mechanics, get this game. It's a great theme. Sitting and just making your passport is so much fun. I can't say enough good things about it, so definitely check it out. That being said, even though this has triumphed over, poor little Furnace back here, Furnace is still, and it's peaking out, it's still a great game. It is one of the best bidding games in my collection. It's incredibly fun. Definitely a recommendation from us. As moving forward, basically everything is a recommendation at this point. We're talking about the top 16 games in my collection from this tournament. If any of them sound interesting to you from a game overview standpoint, I definitely suggest you give them a try. But that's it for us today in Board Game Madness. Thank you so much for watching. We'll continue to move forward in the tournament. We're getting closer and closer to the end as we go. So please like and subscribe and comment and let us know what we got right and wrong. And we hope to see you in future videos and that you'll keep watching. Thanks again, and we'll see you in a future video.